Welcome, welcome to our students who are entering into this evening's program. We'll give it just a little bit here as we start to see people enter in. Welcome, welcome to those of you who are joining us for our TACAC Strive Scan virtual college fair. Students, parents, counselors, I'm just going to go over a couple of things before I pass it off to our college representatives this evening. Students, at any point in time throughout the presentation, it does not have to be when that school is presenting. Feel free to ask any questions in that Q&A box that is down below. Just so you know, your microphone and your camera are off, so our panelists can't see or hear you. Also, there are more Texas sessions happening, I believe one more this evening, and then several more tomorrow evening. So feel free to check those out for other universities and institutions that are presenting. And as always, this session is being recorded. And if you want to go back to it, you will find that at strivescan.com/Texas. And without further ado, I am going to pass it off to our first presenter from Hofstra University.
Hey y'all, how's it going? My name is Chris Hoffman, and I am the representative for Hofstra University for the great state of Texas. So in about 6 minutes, you're going to know everything that there is to know about Hofstra, or at least, well, we can fit into 6 minutes, right? So view from 30,000 feet, we are a medium-sized private university out on Long Island, just outside of New York City. So I often tell my Texans, if you are looking for access to all of the great things that New York has to offer in all 5 boroughs, not just Manhattan, but you don't really want to fall asleep to the sound of police sirens or taxi horns, maybe Hofstra is going to be the right place for you. We are about a 250-acre campus, about 6,500 undergraduate students. And the nice thing about our campus is that we are actually a nationally recognized arboretum. So it's a beautiful place to study, to walk around, and our students really enjoy taking advantage of all that our campus has to offer. You're going to notice here we have our north side and our south side. North side is where students live and sleep. South side is where they study, go to professors' office hours, go to class, and all that good stuff. Couple numbers I like to throw out, our average class size and our student to faculty ratio. These are the numbers that are why so many students choose to come to Hofstra. They want that small class size, they want that one-on-one interaction with professors. They want to get to their senior year and you might only have 6 or 7 students in your class. But that means that when it comes time for internships, research, job opportunities, things of that nature, your professors are going to know you that much better, and you're going to be all set and have those connections, those networking opportunities to get set for your future. We have 165 different majors and minors to choose from. I did mention about 6,500 undergrad students. And the great news is that we are not all New Yorkers. We have students coming from 48 different states and about 78 different countries with over 100 Texans on campus. So you definitely will not be alone here. Couple more numbers I like to throw out for our students. We have 4 years of guaranteed housing on campus. So if you're coming from halfway across the country, you don't need to worry about finding an apartment or anything like that. Even your senior year, you will be able to live on campus like so many students choose to do once they experience what it is like to live in the Hofstra dorms. Over 220 different clubs and organizations. That number is growing every day. 21 D1 sports teams, including our men's basketball team pictured here, which just moved on to the semifinals for the CAA championship. We're looking at another potential March Madness run here, which is very exciting for everyone on campus. Community service is your thing. 100,000 cumulative community service hours are logged by our students each and every year. Pandemic or no pandemic, we get creative and we make things happen for our local community. I did mention that the location is why so many students do choose to come to Hofstra. So we are about a 35-minute train ride outside of Penn Station, right in the heart of Manhattan. So when it comes time for you to do your internships, your observations, externships, anything like that, you're going to have easy access to Manhattan and the other boroughs, as well as the surrounding area in Nassau County. We also have plenty of shopping and dining and entertainment all around us, including the Nassau Coliseum, where I watch my beloved New York Islanders play hockey. It's a great location to be sure. In terms of the actual application numbers and what we are looking for, we are test optional, not just this year, but every year. I know it's so stressful and so hard. For those of you who are looking for a testing date, don't worry about that. If you are going to submit test scores, the average mid-range for our freshman class this year was about an 1120 to a 1320. For ACT, that looks like about 25 to 32 or so. The average GPA on a 4.0 scale was roughly a 3.7, and we do look at weighted and unweighted. And we are an early action school rather than early decision, meaning that you are not bound by your admission decision. If you are admitted early, that's great news. You'll have something nice to share with your family over the holidays, maybe at dinner. If you get your application in by November 15th, you'll have a decision in mid-December. Get your application in by December 15th, you'll have your decision in mid-January. After that, we are on a rolling application basis. These are some of the numbers people care about. The big one that I always like to talk about on the right-hand side, about 3 out of every 5 students have an employment offer either at or before graduation. Our students are hitting the ground running. They're ready to go once they graduate. They're not waiting until after they graduate to, hopefully go out and, hopefully find a job here. Now our students are ready. They have those connections made from those small class sizes, and they are ready to take on the world. One of the other things I like to talk about is return on investment, of course, and you want to know that your tuition dollars are getting you something, right? And so not only are we very competitive in entry-level salary, a year out, folks are making about $10,000 above the median entry-level salary. But that continues on to mid-career salary as well. So looking after graduation, our students are ranked in the top 9% nationally. And it's good to know you are getting that return on investment. And I am going to end things here with my contact information. So I always encourage all of my students, get in touch with me. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to help you out. I know it's a weird time to be looking for colleges and figuring out where you want to call home for 4 years. So let me know how I can help you. Give me a call, shoot me a text, DM me on Twitter if that's your thing. Whatever I can do to get you that info, let me know. Thanks, everyone, and best of luck this year.
Thank you so much. And we will move on now to Marymount Manhattan College. Emma, I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. My computer decided to disconnect from my Bluetooth keyboard for a minute. Hello, everyone. My name's Emma. I'm one of the admission counselors here at Marymount Manhattan College. I'm also an alumna of Marymount, so I graduated in 2018, and I'm originally from Texas, which is why I am obviously the Texas admission counselor. But I love my experience at Marymount. I like to say that I couldn't leave when I graduated, so I'm happy to be here on the admission team. Some quick facts about Marymount. We are an urban campus on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. So we're right in the heart of New York City. If you see this map of Manhattan, that little logo on the top right side is our main campus. It's about 5 minutes from Central Park, very close to Times Square and the United Nations as well. So while you're in a big city and you have literally thousands of opportunities right around you, we're also a very small and tight-knit community. We have an 11-to-1 student-faculty ratio, and the average class size has 15 students. Every single class at Marymount is capped at 25 students, and our classes go as small as 5 students per class. So you really get that individual attention, the chance to connect with your professors, while also, of course, having all of the opportunities that New York City offers. We have over 30 majors and over 45 minors here at Marymount, and we really specialize in students who are interested in studying multiple things. So you may have one selected major, but that doesn't mean you can't take classes outside of that major. We also have a great policy where if you have a double major, a minor, a double concentration, anything besides just one major, one class can fill multiple requirements simultaneously. So you'll see that most students, by the time you get to senior or junior year, will have declared a second major or minor. So there's lots of opportunities, and you're never forced to study just one particular thing, but really explore different disciplines. Now, one of our goals at Marymount is for you to really start your career while you're still in college. We have a program at Marymount called City Edge, which focuses on merging the city with the academic offerings at Marymount. So every student who comes to Marymount is in a class called the New York City Seminar, their first semester, which just focuses on exploring the city and adjusting to the city, and also exploring the different avenues of careers that New York City can help you go through. So if you're coming from Texas like me and you're not used to New York City, you have that class with other first-year students to help you get adjusted to New York and really learn how to explore all those different opportunities. Now we are rolling admission, so if anyone here is a senior, it's not too late to apply. But for those of you who are underclassmen or juniors, for next year, we're gonna have 3 different admission plans. We do have early decision, which is binding. So that means that if you do get accepted through that, you have to withdraw all other applications, but you can choose early action, which is still early. You'll get your decision by December 21st, but it's not binding, so you do not have to withdraw other applications if you get accepted. And of course, like I said, regular decision is rolling. We're typically looking for a strong 3.6 or above GPA, but that it doesn't mean that if you have below that GPA, you won't be accepted. We take a holistic approach to reviewing applications. So we really look at every component of the application that you submit, not just your GPA. We also are test optional this year and next year. We're going to decide for the following years if we're still going to be test optional, depending on how these 2 years go. But anyone who is a senior or junior, you are guaranteed to be considered test optional if you so choose. And that's all I have for you. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can call or text me anytime at that cell number. And of course, you can reach out via email. And lastly, if you are a senior and you want to go ahead and submit an application, you can use that fee waiver code GriffinStrong21, and that will waive the $60 application fee. If you're a junior or below, you can just email us and we'll be happy to give you a fee waiver in future years.
All right, and we will now head on to our presenter from Pace University.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna get my screen going. All right, everyone. My name is Brittany Predmore, and I am actually, like Emma, an alumni of the university myself. I went there and I was a student athlete. I also received a combined degree where I got my master's and associates in 5 years, or not associates, bachelor's, excuse me, in 5 years. So that was really great. So in PACE, we offer our students 2 different campus experiences, one of them being in our New York campus. We are in the heart of Manhattan. We're about a doorstop away from Wall Street. This is really great for a lot of our internships and students looking to pursue the finance majors and other business related majors. We also have 4 different dormitory buildings with a 5 to 10 minute walk from those dormitories to our main hub where everything happens at campus. There's roughly 6,000 undergraduate students on our New York City campus and about 3,000 graduates on this campus. Just a little bit north, about a 45 to an hour train ride up on the Metro North system, we have the Pace Pleasantville campus. This is where we house our 200-acre campus with our 14 Division II men and women's sports. We also have newly renovated dorm halls exclusive to first-year students as well as upperclassmen with something called first-year interest groups, where we create live-in, learn communities for students that are looking to participate in those. Additionally, this is a little bit more like low-key, laid back than the hustle and bustle that you're offered in New York City. So if you're looking for that traditional feel, Westchester is going to be your home. Here at PACE, we base everything and our educational system on something that we call the PACE Path. Ideally, this is customized to fit the interests and needs of the students. So you create this with your University 101 professor, and it ultimately acts as a roadmap to get you to graduation with, of course, there's detours along the ways. So whether you choose the major that you're in for the next 4 years, or if you want to switch, we try to make it as easy as possible for you to attain that. With our academics at PACE, we have over 150 majors, minors, combined degree programs, and graduate programs. Some of them include like our College of Health Professions, where we house our direct entry nursing program, our Dyson College of Arts and Sciences, which is home to our performing arts program, communications, all the sciences, mathematics, things of that sort. Our law school is actually really great because it is a bonus campus, and we offer students a 3+3 program where you can get your Bachelor's of Arts and Sciences or sciences and your JD law degree all within 6 years and receiving financial aid in all 6. Lubin School of Business is our business school, and then School of Education and our computer science school are self-explanatory. Our Career Services Center offers students access to highly sought after internships, and our location makes us prime to a lot of them. So whether you're interning with Nickelodeon or any, just to name a few, we always make sure that students are prepared and market ready when they go out the door. We also offer career and internship fairs on both campuses multiple times throughout the year, as well as targeted spotlight showcases for specific majors. With everything that's been going on in the world as of late, financial aid is crucial. 95% of our first year students receive some kind of financial aid that ranges from about $13,000 to $30,000 a year, which has been extremely helpful. We have lots of opportunities, and that net price calculator is our link to seeing about how much a PACE education might cost you. Application requirements, like my colleagues before me, we have some pretty standard ones. We require an application and a fee. We will take directly with PACE or on Common App, your official high school transcript. We were test optional in 2019, and we are remaining test optional. We're asked for 2 letters of recommendations and then your essay or personal statement. Important deadlines. We also have early decision, which is the binding agreement, 2 early action deadlines, and then program specific deadlines, with those programs being performing arts as well as nursing. And then finally, I just have my contact information. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. Again, my stuff is there. If you want to reach out specifically to either campus, that's listed as well. And for any seniors, financial aid is available there. And Kara, that is all for me.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We will now pass it off to Skidmore College. Still on mute, Jasmine.
Thanks. So for some reason, it wasn't working with my keys. But like Emma, I'm also an alum, and I'm originally from Dallas, Texas as well. So I am also representing Texas. So Skidmore is located in upstate New York. It's in Saratoga Springs. Sorry, there we go. So we are, even though we are a small community of about 2,500 students, we do have a pretty diverse community as well, with students from around 60 different countries in nationality. So that make up around 11% of, international students make up around 11% of our community. About 5% of our students do end up having 2 passports and identify as citizens from at least two different countries. And then we do have students represented from all 50 states, including Texas as well. We do have over 100 applications this year from Texas, so very exciting. In terms of academics, we do offer both Bachelor's of Arts and Bachelor's of Science degrees. Some of our top majors include Management and Business, Studio Art, English, Psychology, and Biology are all within our top 5. Students can definitely find interest in multiple different things. Double majors are highly encouraged. Any kind of combination of a major minor, double minor, even triple minor if you have the time to do it. So our students can definitely do as much as they want to do. And in terms of research, we can definitely offer it for students because we are only undergraduate. That means all the opportunities we have are open to just our undergraduate students. So we do have collaborative research, and that can start as early as the 2nd semester of your first year. So you can start off the bat with research in any department. It does not have to be STEM related. It can be in English, it can be in art, it can be in music or dance, whatever it is that you want to do. And because we are a small community, we do have about an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio. And then our average class size is about 16 students. So the largest class that you would ever have is capped at around 30 students. In terms of our location, we are in Saratoga Springs, as I mentioned, so about 3 hours north of New York City. Small city, it's known for the longest running horse track in the country. So it definitely, in a normal year, it would attract the huge population in the summer, triple its normal size. But we are a very safe region, very small area. As you can see in the bottom picture, there's a lot of nature right around us. We are about 30 minutes away from the base of the Adirondacks. So if you're interested in doing some hiking, skiing, things like that, that's definitely close by. In the picture above, it's our downtown area, which is about a 15-minute walk from campus. So even though all of these great things are open for the summer, they're also open all year round so that our students can take advantage of. And then once our students are able to travel safely, we are, like I mentioned, 3 hours away from New York City, but also from 3 hours away from Boston and Montreal. And we do have an Amtrak station right here on campus, so very easy to get around. In terms of our admissions process, we do take both the Common App and the Coalition App. We don't have any supplements, so it's relatively easy to submit your application. The only supplements that you'll ever have are if you're applying to one of the 2 merit scholarships, which I will talk about in just a second. We are test optional as well. We have been for over 5 years now, and we will continue to be even more flexible if you are opting to take the exam. In terms of interest, that's one of the things that we do look at in terms of our application process. So different ways that you can go about that: interviews, virtual tours, information sessions, many, many options if you want to get to know us. In terms of our deadlines, we don't have early action. We only have early decision, which is binding. So we have 2 rounds of it. We have early decision 1, which is November 15th, and then early decision 2, which is January 15th. And that is also the same day for regular decision. This year, we did receive over 11,000 applications, which is over the top of a record that we've gotten in the past 2 years. So that's definitely exciting. In terms of financial aid, we are need sensitive, so we do look at need, and we assess that mostly through the CSS profile. We also take the FAFSA if you qualify for that, but we definitely require the CSS profile. And then about 99% of our financial aid is distributed through need-based aid, which means that if we accept you as a student, we do commit to meet your full demonstrated need. As I mentioned, we do have 2 merit scholarships. One of them is for math and science, and it's called the Porter Wackenheim Scholarship. It's for $15,000 a year, regardless of financial need. And then the second one we have is called the Filene Music Competition Scholarship for classical musicians, also for $15,000 a year. For either one of these, you do not have to go into the major in order to receive the scholarship. In terms of career development, so about 8 out of 10 of our students do complete at least 1 internship, many that over 70% complete at least 2. So it's definitely highly, very, very popular here on campus. And we also have scholarships and grants that go up to $4,000 that students can apply for and get to use in any way, whether it's for an unpaid internship, a passion project that they have, research project that they have for the summer, many, many ways that they can use that money. And then around 86% of our alumni do choose jobs related to their area of study that they did here at Skidmore, or career goals that they had while they were an undergrad here. And over 75% of our graduates do gain satisfaction from their occupation. All right. Thank you so much. And here's my contact information if you. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We will move on now to Skidmore. Sorry, that was Skidmore, to Syracuse University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Weiss. I am also an alumni of Syracuse University, like several of my colleagues as alumni of their institutions. I graduated in 2017 with a triple major in finance, marketing, and Spanish, and love the university so much. I'm still on campus. I am not from Texas. I don't know why I got Texas as my location to recruit in, but I absolutely love going to Texas when we do have the opportunity to travel. Now, a little bit about Syracuse University, where we are located. We are right in the heart of central New York. We are about 4 hours from New York City, 4 hours from Philadelphia, 4 hours from Toronto, and about 5 hours from Boston. So we are very centrally located. There is a train station that runs through Syracuse that can take you to many cities. It can take you as far west as Chicago. There's also an airport right in the city of Syracuse. And we also have many other opportunities for students to get around. We're also located right in the heart of apple picking country. So in the middle of the fall semester, students get to go to several apple orchards if they want to go apple picking and experience that. As far as our academics go, we do have 10 schools or colleges on our campus. And between those schools or colleges, we have over 200 majors and 100 minors. And you can see a list of the schools and colleges that we have available for you to apply to on our campus. When you do apply to Syracuse University, you do have to apply to one of these 10 schools or colleges. You don't just apply to Syracuse University as a whole. There are programs that you can apply undecided into. Any program that has an asterisk next to its name, you can apply undecided into those programs. And for the most part, you have until the end of your sophomore year to declare your major. We also do have some fairly high ranking programs that you can see on the right-hand side of this screen here. One of the things that Syracuse does extremely well is allow students to experience those hands-on experiences while on campus. First, through our career services, in each of our individual schools and colleges, we have a career services office that caters to the students in that specific program. So you have hands-on career services that really help you understand what your resume should look like for the jobs and internships you will be applying to, what your cover letter should look like. We are also designated as an R1 research university by the Carnegie Foundation. And with this designation comes many opportunities for students to do research on campus. We have students starting research as soon as they get on campus during their freshman year. We also have an office on campus known as the Source that allows students to actually write their own grant and get a grant up to $5,000 to do their own research on campus. Lastly, for study abroad, we do have a great study abroad program. Almost half of our students study abroad at least once during their time at Syracuse. Many students will do a semester abroad, some will do a year abroad, but there are also short-term programs that students could do to study abroad. And there's also the opportunity to do your first semester abroad in the Discovery program in our College of Arts and Sciences, where you get to do your first semester in either Florence, Italy, Madrid, Spain, or Strasbourg, France. What does it mean to be Orange? Well, first and foremost, we are a very diverse university and diverse in many senses of the word. We, as far as our racial diversity goes, about 26% of our students identify as a race other than white. We have students from all 50 states and over 170 countries. We also have students from all different socioeconomic backgrounds. So we are really diverse in many senses of the word. We also have over 300 student organizations on campus, so many students get involved and are getting on executive boards. We also have some fairly new structures and facilities on campus. The Barnes Center at the Arch, which opened up last October, is our new integrated health and wellness center, where we integrate our health center, counseling center, and largest fitness center into one centralized location. And we just updated our Shine Student Center. As an alumni, I always say, I get to say this, the Shine Student Center was very ugly previously. We have updated it completely from the inside out. You can see in the upper right-hand picture what the interior of it looks like now. It is absolutely a beautiful building. So joining the Orange family, how to apply. So we are a Common App exclusive school. That is the only application that we will accept at Syracuse University. We also only have 2 deadlines. We only have early decision or regular decision. Early decision is binding, and that has a November 15th deadline. Regular decision has a January 1st deadline. That is our general applicant pool. We take about 2/3 of our applicants through regular decision. We are also a holistic review school, so that means we are looking at everything in your application to make the decision for you. We are test optional for 2022 applicants, so anybody that is a junior currently, we will remain test optional for you. We do also offer personal interviews. Personal interviews will be open for those of you that are juniors starting in July. So if you would like to do that, we will be doing them virtually. We may be able to do them in person as well, but that is also available to you. And lastly, we offer about 33% of our students on campus a merit-based scholarship ranging from $5,000 to full tuition. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I've left my email as well as our general admissions email here. So thank you very much.
All All right, we will move on now to University of Rochester.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dana Martin, and I am your admission counselor from the University of Rochester. I am actually regionally based right here in Austin, Texas. And so I'm a Texan just like the rest of you who are maybe considering going a little bit further away from home. The University of Rochester is actually located in Rochester, New York, which is the third largest city in New York State. To kind of give you a little more perspective, we are about 6 hours north of New York City. Now, it is super easy to get to Rochester. Usually when I'm flying out there, I just have to pick up one connector flight in like Baltimore or Chicago, and I can land right at the international airport there in Rochester. It's the Finger Lakes region of New York, so it's a really pretty territory to be in. The airport is only about 10 minutes away from the campus as well, so it's easy to grab an Uber or take our shuttle system right to get onto campus as well. The city of Rochester has about 400,000 people that live in the city limits, so it's a good sized city. We are also headquartered to some really great companies like Xerox, Bausch and Lomb. We love our HEB here in Texas. Well, much like that, people in Rochester and upstate New York love their Wegmans grocery store, and that is actually headquartered in Rochester as well. Here's a little bit of a good view of our campus. We actually are made up of 3 different campuses when it comes to Rochester. Number 1 is our river, where most of our undergraduate students live, work, eat, and breathe, everything that they do. We do have 5,500 undergrad students on the campus with over 200 different majors. We also have a medical, dental, and optometry school right across the street in the medical center. We have a very unique BS to MD program. It's an 8-year straight through program called the Rochester Early Medical Scholars Program, where you can actually gain not only your bachelor's degree, but your MD degree from our School of Medicine at the same time. Very competitive program. Super neat though to know that you have a home for 8 years. You're going to walk out being a doctor. Our third campus is also our Eastman School of Music, which is a conservatory style music program. It is world renowned. If you were thinking of going to anything vocal or instrumental music and really want to live, eat, and breathe your craft for the 4 years while you're at Rochester, Eastman School of Music is the way that you would want to go as well. Our university motto is Meliora. When we translate that over from Latin, it actually means ever better. This concept of learning, discovering, healing, and creating, really making ourselves ever better. When we're looking at our applicants, we're definitely looking at some of the characteristics that you embody within this concept of Meliora. Now, there's 3 things really to know about the University of Rochester. Number 1 is that we have a very open curriculum. There is only one required class you ever have to take at Rochester. That's a primary writing requirement class. It's basically English 101, teaching you how to kind of get to that college level of writing. Other than that, every other class that you get to take along the way, you get to choose. So you will have a major as well at the University of Rochester. As I mentioned, we have over 200 different majors. We are very well known for our STEM programs, especially within our science and engineering programs. We have the #1 optics program in the country. Let me just tell you, we have a laser on campus that is the size of 2 football fields. When they fire that thing up in the energetics lab, it's actually the hottest place in the universe when they're doing some fusion and other things over there. It's super neat. We also have a very strong psychology program, neuroscience program, and then our connections with the Eastman School of Music, of course, lend to very well our students who are going into the musical fields as well. So again, you get the agency to really do what you want to do. I was talking with a student the other day. She is actually a quadruple major at Rochester right now. She just kind of really found her path and tried a lot of different classes while she was there doing all that. So yes, it's also neat too because all the classes you could take, you chose to be in, as well as the rest of the people in that class. Here's just some other general information from you about what it actually looks like to be on campus there. As you can see, almost half of our students actually graduate with a double major. The second thing to know about the University of Rochester is we are also a research institution like our friends at Syracuse. We are one of the 130 schools across the country that is designated as a tier 1 level research school. What does it actually mean? Well, $300 million came into the campus last year to make research possible. We were actually one of the testing grounds over the medical center for the COVID vaccine that came out. We're very proud of what we've been able to do, kind of keep that on the home front. 3/4 of our students will participate in research before they graduate. We have the Office of Undergraduate Research. In fact, we are such big believers in research that we actually give grants to our first year students of up to $3,500 to make research happen, or experiential learning. If you ever want to go to a conference in your field of specialty, if you've ever wanted to do some research, book some lab space, get a new computer system that helps you do some data analysis, that's all possible through our Rochester Innovation Grants. The third thing to know about the University of Rochester is just our students. Our students are very neat, very active. They are energetic, they're very driven. 90% of our students live on campus for all 4 years. As I mentioned, about 5,500 undergraduate students. We have 23 different NCAA Vision teams on our campus. We are the Yellow Jackets, as well as 300 different student clubs organizations. We are known for our a cappella groups. We're talking like Pitch Perfect. Yes, that does stem a lot of the things that we do from that. But also you can see we have a lot of cultural organizations. We have a lot of ways to kind of get out of your shell and try new things at Rochester. Here's just our general contact information as well. Of course, I, again, work with all the students from the Texas area. As I said, I'm based right here in Austin. Like my other colleagues, we do offer personal interviews and personal meetings that we can do. So you're always welcome to reach out to our Office of Admissions, and they can get a hold of me to make sure that those are scheduled for you.
All right, thank you to all of our presenters for reviewing all that information about your universities. We do have a little bit of time still left. So I will invite everyone to pop that camera on, and we have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask. We'll kind of review them in the order that we presented in. So my first question for everyone to answer is this: what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? And we'll start with Hofstra.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this one, and I think my favorite thing is everyone's so overwhelmed the first day on campus. Everyone's just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Who's my friend group going to be? And so the first night of welcome week, we have a big event in our theater, the entire freshman class. We have some guest speakers, and on the walk back from the Playhouse back to the freshman dorms, the north side of campus, the entire walk, which is probably a half mile or so, is lined on both sides with sophomores, juniors, and seniors, all different clubs and organizations, just cheering for everyone, welcoming them to Hofstra. It's just such a beautiful welcome home kind of ceremony that made me feel so welcome. God, 9 years ago at this point, and I'm excited to pass that on to the next generation of Hofstra students too.
All right, and Marymount Manhattan College.
Thank you. My favorite tradition at MMC is probably Apple Fest. So that is within the first month of the year. In the fall, we have something called Apple Fest where all the food is apple themed, and we close off the street in front of Marymount. So 71st Street on the Upper East Side, all the clubs put out tables. There's free food all day, and it's a great way to reconnect with your friends, get involved in new clubs, and really celebrate the start of the semester.
All right, how about PACE?
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely think our week of welcome, we offer students an activity and different events going on, whether it's food trucks, talks, concerts, the entire first week of your semester. So it's just really cool going and meeting like your new classmates and going and participating in events and just really feeling like your new campus is your home.
And Skidmore?
Thank you. Yeah, this one's a little hard. We have so many different, very unique ones. I was in between Beetlemore and Fun Day, but I think Fun Day is one of the really great ones, especially in the spring after, as you're starting to prepare for your finals, you have kind of like a back-to-back weekend, that Fun Day and then Earth Day. And the best way to describe them are like mini Coachellas. They're really, really fun. You have like student bands playing, you have food trucks lined up on the grounds. On Earth Day, you have like rock climbing walls, you have bouncy castles on both weekends. So it's just a really nice time to kind of just, hang out with your friends, enjoy some weekends right before finals start. So that's definitely my favorite.
And Syracuse?
So as a student, there are actually 44 traditions that students should do before they graduate. But my favorite tradition is on the first snowstorm. We are one of the snowiest cities in the United States. On the first snowstorm, this building right here, there is a hill at the bottom of it. So students will go and sled down that hill. When I was a freshman on campus, students would take lunch trays to sled down that hill, but they got rid of those lunch trays. So now students have to find other means to sled down it.
And Rochester.
Much like my friend at Syracuse, we do get the snow there. So, but one of my favorite, it's not just a tradition, but kind of a way of life at Rochester. We actually have a tunnel system at Rochester to get around. So not tunnels, like not dark, danky, like water dripping from the ceilings tunnels, but we're talking like these really bright lit hallways just are just underneath the main quad of campus. And a lot of our student club organizations, there's two different sections of that where there's student graffiti artwork down there and it's constantly changing. I just think it's a fun place to kind of use the tunnels to get from place to place on a cold day and just see what's being advertised down there as well. It's kind of fun.
Excellent. We have time for one more question, a little different, especially since we are tending to have a few more juniors in the springtime. What is some advice you would give someone who's going through the college search process? We'll start with Hofstra again.
Yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice is don't just reach out to those of us who are admission counselors, but kind of use this as a jumping off point. So have us put you in contact with other people who can provide you the perspective that it's so hard to get right now. So get in contact with a current student, talk to a professor from the major that you're thinking about going into. For someone like me who struggle with ADHD, get in contact with student access services and see what your classroom experience might look like, but start doing that groundwork now. The more work that you can do early on in this process is going to make your life so much easier down the line. And you're just going to thank yourself later for setting yourself up for success in that way.
All right, great. And Marymount Manhattan.
Thank you. Usually I say connect with faculty, but since Christopher already touched on that, I would say apply to as many schools as you possibly can. And obviously that gets expensive. So reach out individually. Not all schools do this, but at Marymount, and I know at a lot of the schools in this group, we do give out fee waivers on request. So just as many schools that you can apply to, do, because you never want to limit yourself.
All right, and Pace.
Yeah, those are definitely great points. I was going to say also just make sure you're looking to make sure the college is going to fit with like your lifestyle and like things that you're looking to get out of your whole experience. If you're going to invest in your future, you might as well make it worth
it. And Skidmore.
Yes, I recommend staying open-minded and very flexible throughout the college search process because it will be ever changing. The list that you have at the very beginning is probably not going to be the list that you have at the very end. It might be, but there's going to be a lot of times where you might want to add or look at different things that schools offer, and especially with maybe not being able to visit the campuses, that's definitely something to kind of keep in mind. Just stay flexible and open-minded throughout the process.
And Syracuse?
I would say just be open to use the resources that are available to you. The one silver lining to the current situation that we are all in is that we've all created these virtual programs that are available to you. So take advantage of those virtual programs. You may be able to see a university that you never thought you'd be able to visit in person. So be sure to take advantage of all that.
And Rochester.
So I know this is going to sound funny, but I'm going to say visit, but this is how I'm going to say it. We're here in Texas and all of these schools that we've talked about tonight are very much like East Coast. So this is what I'm going to say. Visit campuses even in your local community. Go see UT Austin. Go see Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas. Go see what University of Dallas looks like. Take the characteristics that you're learning from the schools you're able to visit in your territory and your visit and say, you know what, I really like the feel of that religious campus, or I really like the feel of a small liberal arts school, or you know what, I want to be in the city. So UT Austin, Pace, kind of both in the city, they could be a fit that way as well. So take some of these characteristics that you can do from visiting campuses, even in your local community, and then relate that out a little bit further to schools that may fit that in other parts of the country as well.
All right, all sorts of great advice for our students who are seeking out all of this knowledge in the springtime here. Students, we're about at that time, so I am just going to share a couple of things before we leave. When you click out of the webinar, there is a quick 4-question survey that will appear. If you can answer that for us, it greatly helps us in providing different programming in the future, seeing how this kind of format works for everyone, given that we still will probably be offering some virtual things in the future and hopefully more in person soon. Also, there is one more session, I believe, this evening, and again, sessions tomorrow for the Texas area students. And if you do want to go back and watch this session again, it is available soon at strivescan.com. Texas. So I do want to thank all of our presenters for being here this evening, sharing everything with our students. Everyone have a safe and enjoyable evening. Thanks for joining us. Bye.